Hi and welcome back. It's funny, isn't it, that we often spend weeks deciding on the next car we're going to buy or the next holiday destination we're going to book. Yet, research has shown that it takes the average buyer just 10 minutes to decide on the biggest expense of their life, a property. So what you don't want to happen is that biggest expense is going to become your worst nightmare. So today I want to share with you our evidence-based research. We've looked at 97 of our professional HMOs and over 7,000 tenants over an 8-year period. So you will know then what type of features your HMO, your house share property should have and will be the most rentable and profitable property in the area. So there will be no more viewings, no more walking around properties and hoping that you've made the right decision when you say yes to buying that property. Having managed so many professional HMOs, so many shared houses, landlords have often said to me that although the house wasn't perfect when they purchased it, they thought that they would be able to create something out of nothing. What does the saying go? A silk purse out of a sow's ear. So Roy Disney said, decisions are easy when the values are clear. And you always have to have this in mind when you're purchasing your HMO rental properties, your shared houses. Don't let it become an emotive purchase. I have seen far too many rental properties, shared houses, bought on a whim, and the landlord has really regretted it just because they're simply not fit for purpose. And now in today's marketplace, it's a far more sophisticated HMO marketplace than it ever was because tenants just want more. So how does that saying go? Act in haste and repent at leisure. This research enabled me to understand it was really important to play the waiting game and wait for the best property to come on the market. And playing the waiting game will become your best friend. When I started investing in my own HMOs, I then knew exactly what I needed to buy. Because when you manage anything up to 500 tenants a day, you're doing hundreds of viewings in the year, you start to get real market analysis and you get feedback from prospective and current tenants, and that's really important. After all, we want a rental property that rents time and time again at a premium price. And it's important that those houses, these HMOs, will last the test of time. So what did our research show that tenants actually wanted? Well, I call this the sort of HMO foundations, and we found there were 5 of them. So what were these 5 foundations that we found that you needed if you were going to be renting out a professional HMO, a shared house? And what did our research actually show? What did the tenants actually want? Do you know? Number 1 on location, location, location. So for example, if we were renting to students, it's obviously clear that we need to be near to a university campus. But people are inherently looking for an easy life, and that really means a short walk to the university campus. So ideally a 10 to 20 minute walk away. Any longer than that, and we found we were missing a hardcore group of tenants who were looking for even more convenience. I suppose these are a group of tenants who want to wake up 10 minutes before their lecture, they can rush out the door and they're in their first lecture. Now, of course, some universities are based closer than others to train stations, but actually in terms of the student market, that wasn't a key feature because obviously once the students are at campus, they're involved in campus life, they're involved in their studies, and as long as they have a local bus route that can get them into the towns and cities. I think the other key thing as well is when you're looking at the actual bus routes, go to the actual bus stop and find out where the buses go to, because there's no point if they're heading in the wrong direction when most of the students will want to be going to the most popular places. Now, another core group of tenants are, of course, the working professionals. And again, you need to ensure that your houses are situated closer to their place of work. So ideally, it doesn't want to be more than 30 minutes walk away from where they're actually living. Now, we've noticed post-COVID that Offices are now opening up, people are going out to work, they may be working from home, but 2 or 3 days a week they're now expected back in the offices. And of course, if you are renting to the retail sector, employees need to be at their place of work on a daily basis. So anything longer than a 30-minute walk is actually a deterrent for a lot of working professionals. So even if you have the most amazing professional HMO, the most amazing shared house, tenants don't really want to be walking too far to work. And another key feature is, of course, public transport. So again, working professionals want a 5 to 10 minute walk to a bus stop and anything up to a 20-minute walk to a train station. Number 2, the property needs to provide at least 5 double rooms. Do you know, we found that single rooms are the hardest rooms to let unless, of course, you're prepared to rent them cheaply or you're prepared to have longer void. Over 8 years, our research showed that we had the highest void period between single rooms because, in essence, tenants don't like sleeping in single beds. They prefer a double bed. Now, we have seen landlords squeeze double beds into single rooms, but it is so tight walking around the bed. There's virtually no place to actually put any furniture. Now, of course, if you have a 6+ bedded property, then you can often afford to take a little bit of a hit on longer voids on single rooms, or you can afford to drop the price. And that is something that you need to look at when you're actually purchasing the property. Number 3, bathrooms and en-suites. Now, without a shadow of a doubt, en-suites are always in demand over and above renting a room with a shared bathroom. Do you know, our research has shown that tenants stay longer and you get a premium price for these rooms if you have en-suites. Now, I have done a completely separate video on en-suites because although having en-suites is absolutely great, I've managed over 70 rooms with en-suites. I've completed hundreds of viewings on en-suites, and you know, there is far more to consider than meets the eye. So please do watch that video before you make any decisions on how many en-suites you want to put in your houses. Number 4, communal space. Now, what do I mean by communal space? Well, if the property has a tiny kitchen, no space to eat or to relax, then you're basically providing rental accommodation the same as most other landlords. We don't want to be like all the other landlords in the area. We want to own the best HMO, the best shared house. We want our tenants to walk into our houses and we want to rent them straight away. And again, our research found time and time again that properties that provide kitchen, dining, lounge areas, they rent the fastest, tenants stay longer, and you get a premium price on your rent. So what happens if the property doesn't have this when you're actually viewing a potential property? Then look around inside the house. Is there a room next door that you could knock through to make a good communal area which still gives you at least 5 double rooms to rent out in the house? Now, of course, if there isn't that facility inside to increase the room space, then can you go outside and can you potentially build an extension? And of course, when you do invest in extensions, this usually increases the value of the property, the value of your investment. Number 5, parking spaces. Did you know we lose more good tenants to the fact there is no parking at the property? And again, it's because tenants want convenience. I rented lots of houses in the city where there was only one parking place, there's no off-road parking, and free parking is several roads away. And I think as landlords, as property business people, we need to put ourselves in the shoes of the tenants. For example, young women, they don't want to get back late at night, be driving around the area and then parking 10 or 15 minutes away and then having to walk in the dark back home. And potentially, you know, we're losing potentially really good tenants because of this, because also we found tenants driving back to their homes and actually there's limited parking in the area, and that's really stressful, and that was a big deterrent for tenants actually renting these houses. So again, when you are looking for a property, you need to go and assess outside. Is there a drive? How many cars can park on that drive? Is there any way you can create extra off-road parking? How many parking permits are available for that house? And we found that of a 5-bed HMO, a 5-bed shared house, you need to have parking for at least 3 tenants. Now, I had a particular landlord and he used to like to buy houses on the corners of roads and streets because often the plot size was bigger and so he was often able to create off-road parking for an extra couple of cars. Now, if I was in a situation where I was looking at a house and it didn't have off-road parking for 3 cars, personally, I would walk away from it and I would look for something else to invest in. I know they say that patience is a virtue. I say that patience is vital to ensure a profitable, hassle-free and easy to run property business. I would suggest putting these 5 requirements on your tick list when you're looking to purchase a property. Then you will be guaranteeing yourself long-term success in the HMO marketplace. You know, I'm sure you're aware that the HMO marketplace is changing significantly. It's bringing in savvy landlords. In fact, I like to call them professional business people. I'm passionate about self-management and running my own successful property shared living business. Do you know, self-management is easy when you know how to do it. It's just putting in a few simple systems and processes, and I'm here to show you and guide you on the easiest way to do it, and we can do it together. Thank you so much for watching the video up till now. Please do subscribe, please do comment, and I really look forward to seeing you in my next video. Okay, catch you later. Bye.